So, we all have an origin story and a family history. Well, I have a secret, a hidden dark side that I've never spoken of. As some of you have pointed out, I talk kind of funny. Not quite Kiwi, not quite, well, anything at all. But today, I'm bearing all to pay tribute to my dad from Adelaide, South Australia. Wait, that makes you Australian? No, makes me half Australian. So, in this documentary we're taking a look at everything that makes Australia weird, wild, and that little bit wonderful. So this one's for you, Dad. So buckle up, grab yourself a cold one, join me as we take a Bogans guide for Australia. So, before the Malay, before the Farnham, before the Bunnings Snag, there were the first Australians.
The Aboriginal people who lived here for over 60,000 years. Masters of the land, the sea, and the barbecue before you invented the glass barbecue. For tens and thousands of years they thrived, developing over 250 distinct languages, complex trade systems, and a deep spiritual connection to the land. And then, in 1788, the British showed up and thought,
"Oi, this looks like a nice place there, Governor. We'll take it. Slap the Queen's face on it and call it a day."
And thus began one of history's greatest real estate scams. Originally a penal colony, Australia was filled with society's finest. Thieves, brawlers, and people who stole bread. Within a few decades, Australia had evolved into a strange cultural soup. Part ancient wisdom, part drunk racist uncle.
How don't you guys fuck off?
In the late 1800s, along came Ned Kelly, the outlaw, bushranger, and part-time DIY armour enthusiast. This bloke built his own bulletproof suit out of farm scrap, robbed banks, fought the police, and somehow became a folk hero. As time went on, Australia perfected the art of producing lovable criminals. Like this bloke, right here, Chopper Reid, a poet, painter, stand-up comedian, and allegedly a guy who cut off his own ears.
Did you know that Australia is the 6th largest country in the world? It's a sunburnt slab, so big, it's actually wider than the moon.
To put that into perspective, you can fit the entire United Kingdom into Australia 32 times. Damn, 32 Englands, which is ironic, considering we only need one to send all their criminals here in the first place. In Japan, it fits in there 20 times. Germany, about 7. New Zealand? I'm not even going to say. Let's just call us Australia's tiny weird cousin and move on. And driving across it? Now you might think I'll just take a casual drive from Sydney to Perth. How long can that be? Well, my casual viewer, it'll take you about 5 days if you don't stop. That's 4,000 kilometres of nothing but heat, flies, and the occasional servo charging $9.50 for a Coke Zero.
Australia, it's the land of beauty, wonder, and statistically speaking, the place with about 1,000 ways to die before breakfast.
Crikey! Let's start with the snakes, mate. Did you know that Australia is home to 21 of the world's 25 deadliest snakes? The inland taipan can kill a human to death in under 45 minutes. And the eastern brown snake is responsible for more death-related deaths than any other snake on Earth. And then there's the tiger snake. This bite is so toxic, scientists tested it on a crash test dummy once and the dummy still died. Australia is also home to over 2,000 species of spiders. Most are harmless, and some want you dead. Take the huntsman spider for instance. Pretty harmless venom-wise, but then they like to magically teleport across your living room at 40 kilometres per hour while you're holding a hot coffee, or ninja sneak attacking your head while you're driving down the highway. Then there's the Sydney funnel web spider. A spider so venomous, scientists basically stopped testing it on things because there wasn't a creature on Earth able to survive its bite. Do you want to go for a swim? Nah, because the ocean's even worse. Meet the box jellyfish. Basically a floating bag of transparent death. One sting can stop your heart within minutes. And then there's the blue-ringed octopus. Tiny, adorable, fits in the palm of your hand, and carries enough venom to kill 26 adults before you can even Google anti-venom. And don't forget the bull sharks. But the deadliest creature in Australia? It's still the people.
Australia, a land where the sun doesn't just shine, it karate chops you and fucking attacks you.
Where stepping outside in summer feels like opening an oven door and then climbing inside it and living there. Australia is the driest inhabited continent on Earth. So if you ever wondered why everything there's trying to kill you, it's probably because they're furious about the heat and lack of water. But how hot are we talking? Well, the highest recorded temperature in Australia was a casual 50.7 degrees Celsius in Onslow, Western Australia. Outback towns usually hit 45 degrees Celsius regularly. Don't think Australia is just all heat and sunstroke. Oh no, my sweet viewer. They also like to do freezing cold too, just to keep you guessing. My conclusion is Australia just hates you.
So why is everyone moving to Australia?
New figures out today show just under 30,000 New Zealanders left for Australia last year.
The cost of living here continues to rise. Many of us are looking to jump the ditch.
70,000 Kiwis left New Zealand permanent. When is this country going to be good enough for them to return?
Well, that's why I want to come to government. Well, that's why I want to come to government.
Every year, tens of thousands of Kiwis pack up their jandals, kiss their families goodbye, and make the pilgrimage across the ditch. Why? Simple, really. Because Australia, it has stuff. In Australia, the average full-time wage is about 20 to 30% higher than New Zealand. In New Zealand, you work 40 hours a week just to afford rent. Remember when the Kiwi dream was owning a home? Cute idea, huh? Meanwhile, in Australia, you can still buy an actual house. You know, with walls, a roof, and no asbestos for the same price as a damp one-bedroom in Hamilton. Oh, and bonus, building materials are cheaper too. And then there's the food. In Australia, a 1 kilogram rump of steak costs less than a flat white in Wellington. Meanwhile, in New Zealand, a block of cheese costs the same as a second-hand Corolla. But Australia isn't just about better pay and cheaper cheese. It's also where the opportunities are. Do you want to make 6 figures driving a truck in the mines? Done. Want to work in healthcare, tech, or construction, and actually afford a house in under 40 years? Australia's got you covered. Because right now, over 700,000 Kiwis live in Australia, which means 1 in 7 of us have already bailed. And every year, more follow.
But for all the jokes and the rivalry, and the constant back and forth about who's better at rugby, there's something bigger that binds Australia and New Zealand together.
When it mattered most, our Australian cousins have always had our backs. It started on the shores of Gallipoli in 1915. Thousands of young New Zealanders and Australians fought and died side by side. It wasn't just a battle, it was the birth of a bond and a promise. We've got each other's backs, no matter what. And every year on Anzac Day, we stop to remember and we honour that unspoken connection that's lasted more than a century. Time and time again, Aussies have stepped up when we needed them most. After the Christchurch earthquakes, Australia's sent in search and rescue teams, medical crews, and millions in aid. And when Cyclone Gabriel tore through the North Island, Aussie firefighters were among the first boots on the ground. And when Australia faced its own disasters, like the devastating Black Summer bushfires and the Queensland floods, Kiwis have crossed the ditch just as quickly, because that's what mates do. But of course, it's not all tragedy and hardship. We've also stood together in sport, film, and music, and in moments of pure, shared chaos. We're basically a family at this point. A dysfunctional, loud, competitive family, but a family nonetheless. My dad was born here in Australia. It's where he grew up. It's where he learned to laugh and where his story began, before he crossed the ditch and met my mum and started a family in New Zealand. Because for me, Australia isn't just a country, it's part of my story too. So while I've spent most of this documentary taking the piss and making jokes, the truth is pretty simple. We owe a lot to our Aussie brothers and sisters. We've shared battles, bears, heartbreaks and triumphs. And through it all, they've always been there. Because Australia isn't perfect, but neither are we. But together, we've built something pretty special. A bond forged in history, strengthened by friendship and occasionally tested by cricket scores. So here's to you, Australia. A land of endless sun, ridiculous wildlife, and bloody good people.
If you enjoy my content, if you've ever laughed or learnt something new, or even if you just like me as a person, why don't you consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, sharing it with someone. Or you can go one better and give me a super thanks where you can donate a little bit of money to help me on my journey of making newer, better videos for you guys in the future. Drop me a comment down below and let me know your thoughts about Australia. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.